What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in London, England tonight. Oh yeah, we are going to be checking out certain things Britain does way better than America. Very much side checks one out. We ain't going to waste no more time. Just going to get right into it, folks. We're going to get right into it. Oh yeah.
I've spent years living between London and American cities, and I've discovered something pretty great. Britain actually does a bunch of everyday things better than Americans. And I'm not even talking about the big political stuff in this video. I'm talking about the small, simple things that make daily life a little bit better. So let's dive in. Number one, chocolate that actually tastes like chocolate. British chocolate is objectively better than American chocolate. This is not even opinion, this is science. American chocolate, including our beloved Hershey's, includes something called butyric acid, which is literally the same compound that gives vomit its distinctive smell. I'm not making this up. Meanwhile, British chocolate, your Cadbury Dairy Milk, your Galaxy bars, has higher cocoa content and uses different processing methods that preserve the flavor of chocolate. The difference is so stark that when Hershey's tried to sell their chocolate in the UK, it flopped spectacularly. Dang. Brits took one bite and basically said, "This tastes like throw up." The European Union has always had strict regulations about what can be called chocolate. It must contain at least 35% of cocoa solids. In America, we'll call anything chocolate. The result is that even cheap British chocolate tastes like premium American chocolate. Number two, electrical outlets that just make sense. British electrical outlets are engineering marvels. We've talked about it on this channel. Other people have talked about it. While Americans are still fumbling around with the 2-prong and 3-prong systems, Britain has perfected the art of plugging things in. First, British plugs are polarized and can only go in one way, preventing electrical accidents. Second, each plug has its own built-in fuse, so if something goes wrong, only that device gets affected, not your entire circuit. Third, the outlet has individual switches for each socket, so you can cut power without unplugging anything. But here's the genius part. British outlets are designed so that the ground pin is longer than the live pins. This means the ground connection is always established first, making it nearly impossible to electrocute yourself. Meanwhile, in America, we're still dealing with outlets that spark, plugs that fall out, and the constant low-level anxiety of shoving metal objects into wall sockets. 3. Chip shop chips. Americans think we invented the perfect French fry at McDonald's, but we didn't. British chip shop chips are what fries were meant to be before we made them very skinny. A proper British chip is thick cut, fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside, and has enough potato flavor that you can actually taste the potato. They're hand cut, often twice cooked, and treated with the respect that potatoes deserve. Compare that to McDonald's fries, which are pre-cut, frozen, shipped across continents, and pumped full of so many chemicals that they won't decompose for months.
Wow, that is definitely way different. The comparison is different in terms of the preparation and everything and how it's been made, been cooked twice. Wow, I'm learning something, man. I'm learning something. As always with her.
Sure, McDonald's fries are consistent and convenient, but British chips are an actual food experience. You eat them with proper vinegar, ketchup, maybe mushy peas, and they're just a great experience. Next up, roundabouts. While America's still stuck on 4-way stops that turn every intersection into a politeness competition, Britain has mastered the art of traffic flow with roundabouts. Properly designed roundabouts reduce traffic accidents by up to 75% compared to traditional intersections. They keep traffic moving, they eliminate the need for traffic lights, and they prevent the dreaded "who goes first" dance that happens at 4-way stops. Britain has been using roundabouts for decades, and they've got the design down to a science. The magic is in the yielding system if you've never used a roundabout. You yield to traffic already in the roundabout, enter when there's a gap, and exit when you reach your turn. So there's not really any stopping or waiting for lights to change or gridlock. It's so efficient that even small British towns have better traffic flow than major American cities designed for the purpose. Next up, bacon that's actually bacon.
It's like the Americans don't want to use anything another country has made it popular and better in terms of functionality. And I'm seeing the trend when it comes to when the UK does something that's better than the Americans. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm starting to see that. You know, the Americans just refuse to adapt to a system that's better than what they have. I mean, it's time to swallow the pride, man, and gotta do what you gotta do.
American bacon is delicious, but it's basically candy. It's mostly fat, pumped full of sugar and preservatives, and bears little resemblance to where it came from. British bacon, specifically back bacon, is what bacon was supposed to be. It's not drowning in its own grease, and it doesn't shrink to nothing when it's cooked, and you can actually taste it. The difference is so pronounced that when Americans try proper British bacon, they often don't recognize it as bacon at all. Next up, public transportation that actually goes places. Here's something that shocked me. British buses actually go where you need to go when you need to get there. American cities treat public transportation like an afterthought for people who can't afford cars, but British cities treat it like essential infrastructure for everyone. London's bus system runs 24/7. It covers so many neighborhoods, and it usually costs less than a cup of coffee. Even small British towns have regular bus service that connects to regional rail networks. The result is you can live in many places in Britain without a car and not feel like a social outcast. You can go to the pub and not worry about driving home. You can read a book instead of sitting in traffic. You can let teenagers be independent without handing them the keys to a 2,000 pounds killing machine yet. Next up is tea. Americans think we drink tea, but we don't really. We drink hot leaf water with delusions of grandeur. British tea is what tea was meant to be before we Liptonized it into submission. The difference is in the technique. Brits heat the water to the correct temperature, rolling boil for black tea, warm the teapot first, steep for the proper amount of time, and add milk that actually complements rather than masks the flavor. Compare that to American tea culture, which consists of dunking a paper bag in lukewarm water and calling it a day. Americans have turned tea into the beverage equivalent of instant coffee. It's technically the same thing, but it's missing everything that makes it worth drinking. Next up is British sandwiches. British sandwiches are a masterclass in understanding that bread is not just a delivery mechanism for fillings. While Americans pile ingredients sky high between thick slices of spongy white bread, Brits have perfected the art of balance. A proper British sandwich uses thin, firm bread that doesn't overwhelm the filling. The ingredients are layered thoughtfully, with attention paid to texture and flavor combinations. Butter is applied edge to edge, and the whole thing is usually cut diagonally. The result is a sandwich where you can actually taste every component. Next up is cheese that has character. American cheese is to cheese what American chocolate is to chocolate, a processed approximation of the real thing. While we're busy perfecting the art of plastic-wrapped orange squares, Britain has maintained a thriving culture of actual cheese making. British cheeses have names like Red Leicester and Double Gloucester and Stilton. They taste like the places they come from. Meanwhile, American cheese is designed to melt evenly and taste the same whether you buy it in Maine or California. It's the McDonald's of dairy. Convenient, consistent, and completely forgettable. Next up is pubs that are actually social spaces. American bars have two purposes: sports watching or drinking.
True.
British pubs, on the other hand, are designed as community centers. A proper British pub is where locals gather to chat, play darts, eat food, and yes, drink. But the drinking goes along with the socializing. Pubs might be where you meet your neighbors or your family for a meal. You might participate in the kind of casual community interaction that American suburbs have largely abandoned. The pub culture also encourages moderation. You're there to hang out, not always get wasted.
Yes.
The beer is served at cellar temperature so you can actually taste it rather than numbing your mouth with ice. And the atmosphere is designed for conversation, not for staring at 17 different TV screens. Next up, kettles that actually boil water quickly. This seems trivial until you experience it. British kettles boil water in about 90 seconds. American kettles would take 4 to 5 minutes for the same amount of water. The difference? Britain uses 240-volt electrical systems, while America uses around 100.
Someone said that. I just forgot now. Yeah, this is why it is so fast and it works so efficiently. I mean, that's great, man, in terms of the time difference. 90 seconds to like 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, I'm going to the faster one, certainly.
10-volt systems. This means British appliances get twice the power of American appliances. British kettles, toasters, and hairdryers all work faster and more efficiently than their American counterparts. It's a small thing, but when you're boiling water multiple times a day, that time adds up. The result is that Brits use electric kettles for everything: making tea, coffee, instant noodles, or just getting hot water for cooking.
Yes, the pub aspect is certainly true. Heard many videos talk about it. I have friends of mine, relatives of mine, that's over there. They have been saying the same thing in terms of the pub life. It's the atmosphere that really embraces socializing, man. It's not just about getting wasted and watching sports and all that thing. There's actually a lot of thought into pub life in the UK. American, you get in a bar, and the whole point of it is maybe you're looking at sports, doing some sports betting, especially in today's age, and there's a lot of noise, excessive noise because of the sports going on, and it's a place that you come there to get wasted. It's almost like you're not coming there for moderation. So there's a difference in the culture. So yeah, certainly. Yeah, and it seems like the UK delicacy when it comes to sandwiches and all those things seems to have more meaning in them, and it's not just like to get your belly filled up when you're hungry. There's a method to the madness, basically. So there's more thought put into place, I would say. Yeah, but I don't know about the cheese aspect. I would have a lot of people that are in Asian countries saying that they miss the cheese, and usually they are from America. They say that they want real cheese. So that the cheese they're getting in Asia, they're saying to them it's not real cheese. For them it's American cheese. So I'm guessing to each his own. So that's maybe like a video for another day. I don't know if anyone's going to touch on that subject. Maybe I'll come across someone referring to that, like what is the difference between Asian cheese and American cheese? Why do especially people that are in maybe like Vietnam, Philippines, I've heard them say those kind of remarks, and I've heard a few, not just one, a few people say the same thing when it comes to the cheese in those places. I don't know. Keep up in the comments if some more information about that, if you guys know. What is the difference? Why are people constantly saying that when it comes to those two countries? Yeah. If you want to see that long channel archer that I do, hit move on Dyce Reacts, random music reactions. This is where I'm going to be making my exit. Until next time, peace out.